Hello, welcome. This is the Family Buzz on Latchkey. But before we start, we're going to do some introductions. So I am Tiffany Rank. I'm the communications coordinator for Sidney City Schools. And between Paige Barker, who's here with us, who's the family and community engagement coordinator, we're going to work out doing these new Family Buzz videos. So Paige, if you want to introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Paige Barker. I am the Latchkey coordinator as well as the family and community engagement coordinator for our district. This year, we're going to do something a little bit different in lieu of our parent universities. Those used to be held at the middle school in person, and we used to have presenters come in and talk about different topics that parents in the district have told us that they want to hear in our climate surveys. So this year we're going to do something different. We're going to do these online so that way parents can be more accessible to them.
Yeah, great. So Paige, you are the family and community engagement coordinator, but you're also the Latchkey coordinator. So today we're going
Yes.
to talk about Latchkey, which is really your baby because you came on board to start Latchkey. How many years
Yes.
ago was that?
6.
6. Okay, so 6 years of Latchkey, which is a really
Yes.
great program. Let's learn more about it. And just at its most basic level, it's before and after school care. So let's look at what those hours entail.
So before school, we open at 5:30 in the morning. After school, we close at 6:30. We are also open, we're still open at 5:30 a.m., even if we have a 2-hour delay or if we go from a 2-hour delay to a cancellation day.
Okay. So if school closes, you said on a cancellation day. So if school closes after a 2-hour delay, Latchkey stays open.
We are open and we feed the kids lunch.
Okay. Let's say, just so we know, and I know that this is all detailed in the Latchkey handbook that parents get when they enroll in the program. But if, for instance, we were to close school the night before Latchkey would open the next morning, what would happen then?
We will actually be closed. In the event that that happens, which is pretty rare, in the event that that happens, it's typically because weather is going to be really severe and it wouldn't be safe for anybody to be out there.
And we would know way in advance.
Yes.
Okay, so 5:30 a.m. to the time that they start school, they can be
Mhm.
dropped off. And then after school, they would get transported to Latchkey and they could be there as late as 6:30 p.m.
Yes.
Those are really great hours.
Yes.
As a working parent, like even I'm thinking even on, a day where I may end my workday at 4:30, but I have a couple errands to run.
Yes.
It's nice to know that I could come, at 5:30 and use an hour of time to run errands kid free.
Or
So
go to the grocery store by yourself.
yeah, yeah, right. So super convenient. And then you're also hitting that first shift. Those first shift people who have to be to work early, they can get their kids to Latchkey ahead of time.
Yep.
Latchkey is located on Russell Road.
The old Parkwood building, or what I guess we used to call the Sydney Alternative School as well.
Okay.
Yes, we are right in front of Northwood if you're on Russell Road.
Yeah. And so that's also now home to Sidney City Schools Online Learning Academy, which is the
Yep.
Jacket Virtual Academy. You utilize 2 classrooms, right?
Yes.
And then the gym.
Yep.
And then there's also a playground that the kids can use. So
Oh, yes.
at the top here, it says grades K through 5.
Yes.
Just want to highlight that Latchkey is for students enrolled in Sidney City Schools, K
Yep,
through
in
5.
grades kindergarten through 5th, and it doesn't matter which building you go to, we transport to every building.
Okay. So what kind of activities can we expect?
So we do arts and crafts for sure. The kids actually come to us with ideas and they let all of the workers know, hey, I saw something really cool the other day that we should make in Latchkey. And we kind of give the power to the kids for that. They love having that ability to tell us, hey, we want to do this. And we just kind of run with their ideas. They love decorating all of our hallways, all of our rooms. They decorate the gym. They love to decorate everything with all of their arts and crafts that they
I
make.
know one of the arts and crafts that you do that we appreciate here at the Board of Education office every year is that you make holiday ornaments for our tree that sits in our lobby. And I'm
Yes.
always amazed at what new ornaments we're going to get for the tree. So
Our
appreciate the
kids
arts
ask
and
when
crafts.
we're starting that every year. They November 1st, it never fails. When are we gonna start all of our Christmas ornaments?
Yeah, fun.
Oh, whatever.
So the students also get a morning and afternoon snack depending on when
Yes.
they're there.
Yep. So
What
we offer breakfast snacks. We call them breakfast snacks because it's not really a hot meal. So we've got cereal, we have whole grain Pop Tarts. They can have little string cheese. Sometimes we get some yogurts in, just things like that. And then in the afternoon, they have graham crackers, goldfish. Oh, what do they love? Their cocoa ZZ bars, whatever we get through the schools, they're obsessed with.
Yum.
They get granola bars, sunflower seeds, all kinds of stuff like that.
So on that note, when you're talking about the morning snack, so they can have the morning snack at Latchkey,
Yes.
assuming that they get there in time because you do have some timelines getting kids to school. But
Yes.
then they also, when they ride the bus to school from Latchkey, they also get to school early enough that if they want the hot meal,
Yes.
the breakfast meal that's at school, they can also purchase that breakfast meal. Correct?
Yes. So some of our kids get there at 5:30 in the morning. Um, and sometimes it's kind of hard to get a child up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get them to a building at 5:30. So they don't have time to eat in the morning. So they can eat snack with us. And then typically by the time that they start school in 3 hours, they're a little bit hungry still. So they'll go to school and actually eat the hot breakfast as well.
Nice games.
Oh, yes. We play lots of games. We have lots of gym equipment there in our gym. We take footballs and everything outside too. We have a playground out there that they've fixed up for us, and we let them run,
I don't
get
know.
all of the energy out.
Awesome. Keep them entertained, right?
Oh, yes.
And then lastly, you also do homework help, correct?
Yes. Some of our kiddos come to us in the afternoons or even sometimes in the morning, and they didn't have their homework completed the night before. So they ask us or any of our teacher aides to help, and we will sit down with them. Or they even have some peers that are in their classes that will sit down and kind of explain some things with them too.
Yeah, that's nice, especially for parents. Again, Latchkey is geared towards working parents, right? So
Yes.
working parents have a busy schedule, and that, like, when they're getting off work and they're going to pick up their kid, sometimes it is 6:30 in the evening when they're picking up their kid, and by the time you get home and have dinner and turning around, it's bedtime. And
Yes.
so it's nice to know that homework help can happen at Latchkey. Um, let's talk about how much Latchkey costs, because this is a great service. And
Yes.
we're really, like, as a district, we really try to make sure that it's affordable to families.
Yes. We haven't changed our rates since we started 6 years ago. So we're trying to gear that toward keeping it affordable with everything else that's getting way more expensive right
Yeah.
now. So our full-time rate is morning and afternoon, which means that you can utilize the morning and the after school for our program. It's going to be 65 a week. If you have more than one child, each additional child is going to be an added $40 per week.
Okay. And then if you want to use it part-time, like, let's say, I do use Latchkey part-time.
Yes.
So my kids only come in the morning.
Right. So if you want to use only before school or only after school, it's 43 a week. Each additional child is going to be the $25 added to it.
Okay. And then do you have drop-in?
Yes, we do drop-ins. So that is, we have a couple of parents that they can get their kid to school or they can pick them up after school, but sometimes they have to work overtime or sometimes they have to go into work early. Some parents only need the program 1 day a week. So we have a drop-in fee of $10 per session. So that would be $10 in for their first session in the morning, or if they needed it for 2 sessions, it would be the $20 a day.
Yeah. So I did use drop-in a couple of years ago. My oldest had a dance class right at the time that my middle child had to be picked up. And so it was only on Mondays. And it just wasn't feasible for my husband or I to go and pick her up from school, and we didn't have another option. So that was perfect for us. It was a regular drop in. So every Monday, she knew that she got on the Latchkey bus and would go to Latchkey after school until one of us could go and pick her up. So that was super awesome and convenient for us. And great for those, again, I have to work overtime and I need to drop in. And in that case, like a family, they're registered in the programs, right? So they have to be registered ahead of time.
Yes.
But in that case, then the family can send a note to the teacher at school, and
Yes.
say they need to go to Latchkey today. Uh,
And sometimes that actually happens in the middle of the day. Sometimes our parents don't know that they have to stay for overtime. And if they call the school and say, hey, my son or daughter has to go to the Latchkey program after school today because I'm not going to be able to pick them up, they will send a note down to their teacher and make sure that they get put on the Latchkey bus.
yeah, awesome. But the key to that is just making sure that you're registered into the program ahead of time. Like
Yep.
Latchkey has to know that you're who this kid is
They
before
have to
the
be
day
on
they
our
drop in.
transportation list.
Yeah,
Yes.
correct. Okay. You have another option.
Yes. So, on our schedule for the schools, we have some of our scheduled days off, teacher work days, remote days, things like that. Those days on our calendar are highlighted in green, which is located at the end of the parent and student handbook. Those days we are open all day. So we will still open at 5:30 in the morning and we will close at 6:30 p.m. Those days you have to be pre-registered for, but they're $20 per day. And then if you have more than one student, it would be an additional $10 per other child that you have too. And we still do the morning snack. We do morning breakfast. They get more than likely, they vote on pizza for lunch. And then we do afternoon snack. We do games, crafts. Sometimes we have some movies playing in the background for them.
Yeah.
We kind of just do everything.
Do everything. Awesome.
Yes.
And again, it's K-5 kiddos. So it's not like you have, really old kiddos with really young kiddos. Probably one of the best things about Latchkey, I think. And when you utilize it, some families utilize it just for this purpose because they have a hard time getting kids to multiple places in the morning. But
Yes.
you transport students from Latchkey in the morning to their schools.
Yes. So in this, actually, we do have a couple of parents that have multiple children in different buildings. And that makes pickup really hard, especially sitting in the pickup lines in afternoons. I don't know if you've ever seen those lines, but they are pretty crazy.
So much
So
fun.
we have parents that send their kids over to Latchkey because they will jump on a bus and then they will get transported to Latchkey in the afternoon. And then all of their kids are in one spot to drop off and pick up.
And
We
if
do.
they want to, they could run to the store afterwards.
Yeah.
They could run to
Yeah.
those couple of errands. So that's super awesome. They're transported on City school buses. And again, they go from Latchkey if they're in the morning, they go from Latchkey to their school in the afternoon, from the school to back to Latchkey.
Yep.
Okay. And then final things, like now that we know all of the basics, how can families get signed up and get started?
So we have registration forms on the website. So you would go to the school life tab and then you're going to look for Latchkey Care. You can download the registration form, the student forms, and the handbook. What I will need to be turned into me and completed would be the registration form, the student forms front and back, all 3 pages of those, and then the $20 registration fee.
Yeah.
Typically, that'll take me about 3 days to get the information in our system, and that way I can get them cleared for transportation because they have to go through and be put on our transportation list for our buses. All of those forms can be submitted to me at the Board of Education building, or you can turn it into your child's school secretary.
So if they turn it into their child's school secretary, is that going to be a little bit longer on that turnaround time? I mean, just because of
Sometimes it
getting
can
information
be,
back and forth.
but they normally get it over to me within a day. So
Yeah.
it should be, I always say, to be on the safe side, you should have your forms turned in at least 1 week prior.
Yeah. And so once you process the forms, you contact families and let them know that they're
Yes.
good to start
Yeah.
Are families able to visit Latchkey, the Latchkey
Oh,
building
yeah.
before they start?
Yes.
Yeah,
All of my contact information is on
this next
pretty
slide.
much everything out there right now. So if they do
Right
have
here,
any
screenshot
questions,
it.
yeah, there we go. You can screenshot it. You guys can, anybody can call me and say, hey, we're kind of interested in looking at the Latchkey program to see if it's a good fit for us. And I will schedule a time, or I will have my staff that's over there morning and afternoon. They can kind of walk through the program in the building too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Super awesome. Love it. You want to just give a shout out to your staff? How many staff do you have? I
Oh,
mean,
how
I think it flexes depending on the days and
yeah.
the kids, right?
Yes, we have about 6 people that are working over there right now.
Cool.
They
And
are amazing, and they
wonderful people.
love to
Yeah.
be around the kids. They hate when I give them other things to do that don't involve having crafts or art or playing games with my kids.
Yeah.
I have one of my morning girls cannot do anything once, a couple of the kids get there until they play a game of Uno. They have to start their morning off with Uno, so
Great way to start the day.
yes.
Well, again, Paige's information is here if you want to screenshot that real quick, or you can also just go to our website, use the search feature and search Latchkey. Um, Latchkey is such a great thing. We're so lucky to have it. We're so lucky that our school administration and our board sees the value in it because, you know, childcare is so hard for families. It really
Oh, I
is.
know,
So
especially in our area.
yeah, there's just not many options. And so this makes it so much easier. It really is affordable. And I know that when I'm sending my kids there, that they're in great hands. They enjoy going. It's just one less stress on my plate to think about in the morning, how I'm going to get them to their places. And so I just really appreciate Latchkey. I hope more families take advantage of it. And if you have any questions, Paige is your girl.
Yes.
All right, Paige, I can't wait to do more family buzzes with you. We're gonna hit
Thank
all the
you.
topics, right?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. So this will be posted to our website, and we're gonna keep posting more family buzzes in the mix. So just stay tuned.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Paige.